I'm Yaz.
I'm Kieran.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Laura. Welcome back to Debates with Mates, guys. We're here with Andy and Laura from Keep It Local this week. So these guys have just launched a department store in the Pottery Centre in Hanley. It's the third store they've got after originally opening in Longton and opening the second store in Newcastle town centre earlier this year. So guys, do you want to tell us a bit about Keep It Local and when you founded and everything?
Absolutely.
I'm sure you do. Absolutely.
So we started in 2021 and we started as an Instagram account. I think we were just bored. It was after lockdown, wasn't it?
Well, it was during lockdown we started the Instagram account just because we couldn't go anywhere. So we were shopping locally. We were shopping at a local farm shop. And they just happened to sell amazing local beer, which was great with me.
That was your first post, local beer,
I just posted, I thought, you know what, I'll, instead of like spamming my own social media, I'll just do one, and I'll create a new page and trying to get some traction with people that are interested in local beer, mainly, wasn't it? You know, and that grew fairly quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, we can't. I mean, probably not quickly for like some of the big Instagrammers, but for us, like little old doors.
We weren't trying to be like any influencers, or we were just posting what I like to eat and drink, basically, you know.
Yeah.
What I was conscious of on my own socials, people going, "Oh, he's here again. He's eating or he's drinking again." I'm like, you know what? Let's just do like-minded people. So it cuts all the questions out. Why are you drinking every day during lockdown or things like that? You know, so
Content.
Yeah,
absolutely. So that grew fairly quickly with people that were sending us messages, genuinely interested in, you know, what's that beer like, or you know, the farm shop we were using, different bits.
Local markets, we were going to local artisan markets, and we made lots of friends.
We did. We sort of just turned up at Castle Artisan Market, the first one. We just sort of rocked up with cameras in a hand, and you know, people were like, "Who are these weirdos?" Like walking around, videoing everything, and you know, talking to people.
Somebody said to me, they thought that we were lottery winners and we were just doing this in a free time. But actually, you know, we'd both got like full-time jobs, we've got 3 kids. I mean, the kids are grown up, but you know, we were just spitting it into like our normal lives.
Yeah,
but we loved it, didn't we? We loved it. And it was never ever going to be a business.
It was never supposed to be a business, or we didn't know what we wanted, didn't we, really? You know, we just knew we enjoyed doing what we were doing. So yeah, it was just like, and that took up every weekend, didn't it?
Yeah.
You know, so we were working, you know, Monday to Friday, and weekends like, where's the next market on, or where can we go that's selling local products or whatever. And it got to the point where we were getting that many sort of emails, text messages, questions, especially through the socials. I'm like, something's got to give, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, something's got to give.
So we did a pop-up shop.
We
met lots of artisan, handmade, small businesses at these markets, and we thought we'd just have a go at doing a pop-up shop. So we did a couple of artists, small pop-up markets. We did one in Madeley.
We did. One
in Keele at the Sneed Arms. We did one at the White Lion in Weston.
But we realised very quickly that doing markets weren't for us. You know, it wasn't our bag, was it?
You have to be hardy.
You have to be hardy. You know, and that's not me.
It's about that life.
And trying to sell it as well.
You know what? I turned up. I turned up at my first market, pretty much dressed like I am now. It was like pouring down with the rain. It was freezing cold. I've got a body warmer and a t-shirt on, and people walking around with like 3 or 4 layers on, and like looking like, who's this crazy guy here? You know, what's he doing? So
we booked the pop-up shop in the Pottery Centre. So that would have been November 2022, and we did it with Castle Artisan, the guys at Newcastle Artisan, because they are our friends, aren't they? So they helped us through.
We sort of went to them and said, we've got this mad idea that we want to trial a shop. You know, they didn't really know much about it, did they, to be fair, Castle Artisan. I'm like, you know, let's talk to them. We've got this mad idea, you know, we want to do a shop, but we want you guys involved. You know, you're the experts, so help us out. And they jumped on board, you know, didn't they?
So we had 27 small businesses that worked with us in that first shop. It was November 2022. By the end, did we do 2 weeks? We did 2 weeks.
No, we did a week.
We did a week.
Yeah, we did a week.
We came out of that shop.
You know what? It was like when you go on holiday and you have like an amazing time and you don't want to come back and you don't want to go back to work. That's how we felt. You know, in fact, you cried, didn't you?
Cried on the last day.
I'm like, you cried. I'm like, don't worry, I'll bring you back up to Hanley, Duck. You know, we only live down the road. You know.
There's times where I think we both had varied careers, and I think we both didn't know what we were looking for until what we wanted,
until we did that,
or what was important to us as well. Because I think, like most people, you go to work for the money, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
and you go to work because you've got to, and you needed to provide for your family and your lifestyle and all of those things. But actually, that moment was almost like, it's not about money, it's not about job title, it's not about having a nice car or a nice house, it's about feeling fulfilled. And that's what happened, wasn't it? So that was November 22. Absolutely. In January, the 2nd of January, you handed your notice in.
I went into work. I was working for a great guy, for a local brewery down at Beartown. Great guy, great family that own it. And I went, and they were all supportive of what we were doing during the socials, and I kept them in the loop. I'm like, I think it's, we're going to break through and do something different. And they were really supportive, weren't they? Joe and family. Yeah. And I went in one day. I'm like, this is it. I'm finishing. I'm going to give this a go. And so I gave me notice in, and that was like, the last day was so weird, because that was like, I walked out of work and it was like, I've got no guaranteed income now. I've got no real job as such.
Well, that's the scary thing of doing things on your own. Completely, there's no consistency at first. Yeah.
So we thought, we need something that to give, because by sort of that point, we were working hard with Keep It Local, as well as a full-time job. So we're like, this is not going to work, And we thought we've put so much in to Keep It Local over.
We could never let it go. We could never. No. It was just something that even we've had lots of challenges, which we can talk about, but even through those challenges, even though you're kind of like, I don't think I can carry on. There's just something that tells you that you can't work this hard for it just to fall.
Yeah, just fizzle out, really.
Carry on. So Andy gave up his job. Yeah. That was the 1st of February.
I got my last pay packet. I'm like, this has got to last for forever, really. Which it lasted about 2 weeks, but.
And at the same time, our youngest, so we've got 3 children, and our youngest son Harry, he was doing an apprenticeship at the ski centre at Stoke. He's a ski, that's his hobby, is skiing. Oh, wow. And he got a job, they just freestyle skiing, but he broke his back, he'd had a fall, and he broke his back. So he couldn't then go back to skiing. I mean, he probably could now, he's recently had his final operation. So,
that's good.
It was great. Harry got involved.
It was like good timing, really,
good timing.
Yeah.
So,
cheap labour, which is always good.
Isn't that what having kids is for?
Absolutely. You can't rely on family for that, then, you can.
So we started then just doing pop-ups. We booked the pop-up shop in the Pottery Centre. I think we booked that 7 or 8 times, didn't we? Yeah. We went to Mansfield.
We've been all sorts of exotic
we went
places,
to Warrington, Freeport, or Affinity as it's called. Where else did Longton Indoor Market? And then the opportunity came along to open the shop in Longton.
Yeah, well, we got a call off Chris, who manages the exchange there. I haven't been to Longton for forever, really. I'll be honest with you. We're sort of from the other end of the city, so I got a phone call saying, "Hi, I'm Chris from the Longton Exchange. I've seen what you do on socials. I'd be interested in the chat, about you coming into our centre." And I was sort of like, I don't want to shop. I'm not interested, really. But I thought, I've got nothing to do. I'll go up and have a look. Got nothing to lose. And I sort of went up and met with Chris, and we had a look around the exchange, and it was a beautiful sunny day. There was lots of people out having coffees and different bits. And I sort of went home and said to Laura, "We're just taking a shop on." I'm like, we almost did the deal there and then. I'm like, just taking a shop on.
You just bought into the vision, weren't you?
We bought into the vision of the arts and cultural quarter that we want to create there. So it aligned with what we were doing, and what we do. So it was like almost a no-brainer for us to do it. But we had a lot of questions then. People say, when we announced it, saying why Longton, and giving me a million reasons why not to go to Longton. But I'm like, well, I used to sort of almost make excuses, but I got to the point where I could see the good work that people were doing around the area. And I'm like, change has got to start somewhere. So we're going to start it here. We're going to start it in the shop in Longton, and that was that, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that was September 2023. And the first 3 months were fantastic in Longton.
We were really well supported, weren't we? Yeah.
And we also did 6 weeks in the pop-up shop in Pottery Centre, November 2023, which was phenomenal. And I think that cemented we wanted to be in the Pottery Centre at some point. But of course, it was how we got there, because we haven't got huge investors. We haven't got a load of money in the bank. It's how do you get into one of those big units? So we carried on with Longton. I was still working full time.
Yeah.
And actually, in all honesty, my salary was supporting what we were trying to do with Keep It Local. So
you were like investing your money.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Completely. But it was hard because I was so bought into this, what we were trying to create. My heart was with Keep It Local, but I knew that I still had to put everything into my day job, and I've got quite a good job. And
I mean, ultimately, you couldn't sustain 3 of us, could it? With Harry.
So that was underpinning everything that we were doing. But I was working weekends and
every night,
evenings,
and
it was
taking holidays just to help out in the shop and different bits.
I used my annual leave to helping out in the shop, and it was really tough. But we got this end goal. We had got this end goal, and then after Christmas, kind of had a bit of a really difficult period, didn't we? We got broken into in Longton.
I didn't realise that.
I'll be honest with you, that almost finishes off, didn't it? It really did. We were like, with the value of stock and the damage that was caused, and we felt like we've been sort of violated, really, by somebody coming into our home.
It
does, and not just targeting us, targeting the businesses that we represent, and it almost finishes off. It really did. We were like questioning why we're doing this. How do we move forward? Do we want to move forward? And we had all these thoughts running through our head, didn't we?
And also the business, the support that we'd had the first 3 months in Longton. Of course, after Christmas, people hadn't got the money, and so the trade dropped off
dramatically, didn't it?
And that's the time in an old unit. Any old unit really, utility bills start rising. So we've got this huge hike in heating bills.
Massive hike,
we weren't doing the trade, and also then we got broken into. So it kind of felt like, oh my gosh, like what are we doing? We felt like we were like fighting a losing battle, really. But we carried on, didn't we? We
sort of it was like a storm. We knew we had to get through it, and we did, didn't we?
And we did, and then an opportunity came up at Newcastle to open a shop there. And again,
Newcastle's our hometown, so when the opportunity came up, it was like almost like we've got to do it,
pass it up.
Absolutely. We always would have been like, what if, why, should we have? And like, what, we're going to do it. And I'm sort of from like the old. I can remember Newcastle when it was a vibrant town, like any town, So we took the punt, didn't we? We opened the shop there. That was back in May. Yeah. And it's hard on the high street then. It's been hard going. So again, initially a new shop opens, you get a huge wave of support, which is great, and we still do get that in both shops. People come in, they support us with the kind words and positivity, but unfortunately, you can't always pay the bills on positivity. I can't pay the electricity bill with that. But it's hard. It is hard going into
But we did know. So when we were in the Pottery Centre last November, and we knew the footfall, I've said it over and over again. People say nobody comes to Hanley. They do. And we've got the books to prove that they do, because the trade is phenomenal. Like, because the big names are there, people will go there. So we knew, didn't we, in November, that that's where we wanted to be. So we started discussions with the Pottery Centre management back in February this year.
Yeah.
And your idea was, let's take one of the biggest units and let's do something really special with it. So the Pottery Centre really supported us.
They jumped right on board, didn't they? They understood what we wanted to create. We wanted to bring that magic back that people can remember that Hanley had. With the crowds of people following Santa Claus and the processions and coming into the centre and shopping and getting nice gifts for the loved ones.
And as we spoke about earlier, 30 years ago, I went to Affleck's Palace in Manchester for the very first time. And it was the first place I'd gone to spend my pocket money. I went with my friend, and I walked in, and the feeling that I had when I stepped into that building, I always knew that I wanted to experience that.
That authentic, personal,
absolutely.
There's a lot to explore, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
And I didn't know that we would be creating that. I knew I wanted to experience it in Stoke. I just felt so strongly about the creativity and the talent in Stoke that I wanted that for all of us. So when we spoke about this big unit, I was like, yes, let's have an Affleck's Palace. So that's what happened, really.
You did.
In terms of, we spent from February to September, when we got the keys to the the unit in the pottery centre. We spent that whole time stressing out about how we're going to fill it. Will there be enough stock? Will people want to work with us? All of that self-doubt that you go through. I did.
Because we still know in the back of we're still just us. We're still a very small team. We're not some huge name out there or anything like that. It's just us. And we're like, are people going to trust us to pull something like this off? Ultimately, because it was like it's such a huge scale project.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we've built a team around us, haven't we? Which is nice.
Yeah, we did, and we've had lots of support. And of course, then it enabled me. This project then enabled me to hand in my notice at work. So I've been. Keep saying I've been unemployed. I mean, obviously I'm not, but I'm not. It feels different because I'm not working for somebody else. So it's actually a month. I've actually been working for for us. I've been working for us for a month solely.
Is that all?
Yeah, yeah. So even
it literally just the week before the shop opened, pretty much, wasn't it? Yeah,
even on the run up to it, I was
crazy.
I was working. I was doing 2 jobs, and even though now we're working 7 days a week because that's our commitment to the project, and of course we need to get under the skin of it. We need to know what works, what doesn't work, so we're there 7 days a week. But I've got so much more time because for the last 18 months I've been doing 2 jobs. I've been doing 50 hours of a day job.
Both of them,
So it's been I still sometimes think, do I need to tell somebody that I'm going to the dentist, or do I need to, because I've just been so ingrained in that kind of working for somebody else and following somebody else's lead that it feels quite strange. But it's lovely because we've been able to take on 8 members of staff on a seasonal contract, and it just feels so lovely to watch these young people that we've employed and be supporting them and helping them and give them a nice working environment.
And some of them, it's almost the first sort of job role for them. We want them to have that positive experience, so they're not scared of going to the big wide world and getting a job and thinking, I don't know what I'm going to have. We want them to have that good experience, probably too good.
Probably.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because
it doesn't.
It's about their experience.
Yeah, absolutely, with us.
We're also working with Pink College.
I'm not sure. Who's Pink College?
So they support young people between the ages of 16 and 25 who are neurodivergent. So they've got maybe ADHD or autism, or they've got, but generally people like that. I mean, I've got ADHD, so generally people have got a creative flair, and it's really important that we show young people that you don't have to be, something that's set in stone. There's lots of opportunities out there in the creative world. And so we've got a young man on an internship with us, so he does 4 days a week, and we've got a young man that does work experience 1 day a week, and it's just so lovely to be able to support.
And do you feel like they're actually flourishing, considering this is like something they're choosing?
Our worry was that we take somebody on, and we don't want them just doing rubbish jobs that need the general jobs that just need doing every day. We want them to come and have that experience and flourish in the role that we give them, and the responsibilities that we give them and things like that. So it's been great for the young lads that's with us.
Because we are parents of. Our children are in their early 20s now, but because we've seen, and not one of our kids are never going to be a doctor or
and we said that throughout their school career. Some kids they're not like that, but Harry, for example, he's super talented at using his hands, anything to do with technology, woodwork. You said the system somewhere needs to recognise that not everybody's great at maths or English or science.
And all of our kids have got great soft skills, so they know how to talk to people, they know how to be respectful, they know how to engage, and because of that, they've all done really well. But none of them went to university, but that doesn't matter because they've excelled in themselves and they're giving something back. They're all earning money and they're all doing well and they're all happy. And we know how important that is as parents. So it was really important when we were on this journey that we share that and that we're able to give that to other young people, and especially those young people that maybe wouldn't have opportunity because they are excluded, for having challenges.
So
it's really important too. So we are really trying hard to, alongside running a business and making money because we need to, but also we're trying to give something back in whatever way we can.
Absolutely.
So we're doing this with the people we employ, but We also support 2 charities. So we support Graham Gap, which, I mean, we know you've got a love of dogs as well. But we have, that's so important to us. So we've supported Graham Gap since the very beginning.
Yes.
And we're also supporting the Royal Stoke Hospital and their charity. My mum was diagnosed with cancer, unfortunately, earlier on this year, so it's really important to us to try and give something back, you know. We're raising money for those guys as well. So
you're having your hair shaved,
I'm having my hair shaved. Yeah.
It's like giving me a living with another me. It's like it's weird. Like the shampoo bills in our house are going to be nothing for months on end. It's going to be great. Yeah, well, loads of money.
Absolutely. So whatever we can do, whatever we can give back, and that's what makes us feel really good about what we're doing. Is giving, and it is a business, and it solely is a business, but it's community centric as well. Really so it's really important that we get as many people involved, that this benefits the city of Stoke-on-Trent. So
100%. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've had offers to go sort of further afield and different bits. But we're from Stoke. We want to have a base in Stoke. We want to represent. Absolutely. So so we will always have that, won't we?
Yeah, we'll always be in Stoke. We will.
Yeah, you'll have to make a franchise one day, won't you? Like a regional franchise. Yeah.
We discussed that.
Okay.
No comments on that. Yeah.
You never know, do you?
You don't. Absolutely.
And obviously, you know, you've come a long way, really. In 3 years, it's gone from an Instagram account to 3 stores.
Yeah,
one of them
absolutely.
Being
you know, I was talking to a guy today. I met him, I don't know, 2 years ago. He had a stall in Hanley Market. And he said, I watch all your videos and your posts and different bits, and I can't believe how far you've come. And because we're in it, we don't really see as such, you know, do we?
I also think that it seems like that from the outside in, and I know it does, but what I will say is that every waking minute of every hour, if I've not been sleeping, I have been either working to invest, doing my day job to put the money back in to keep it local, or I've been on Keep It Local, and that's been our life, hasn't it? And even when we went away, we took my mum and dad to Portmaddock, and just for a week in the summer, didn't we? Because, you know, my mum had this diagnosis, and we wanted, it's really important for us to create memories. And so we took my mum and dad there, and I had to take my label printer, you know, to print the barcodes for the shop. And my mum was like, that noise, like, like the label printer. Can we just stop? And I'm like, no, I can't. And there's just something in me that says, just keep on. And on those moments where it's felt like it's got too difficult, both financially, emotionally, all of those things.
Every week's a roller coaster, isn't it?
I just keep thinking to myself,
different emotions.
You can't work this hard for it not to give you something back. And that's just what's kept all of the work that goes in is an investment, isn't it? It's an investment of you, an investment of your time. And that's how I feel. I feel
sometimes
like,
at night, I'm like, I get to a point where I'm like, you know what, enough. You know, I want to watch a bit of TV now. I want to unwind a bit, and I'm like, well, put your laptop down. And he's like, no, I want to do this, I want to do that.
Oh, me and Yaz exactly the same. We're always writing notes and then ringing each other up for ideas.
I'm like, you know what, my phone's going down on the side now. Putting the football on, I'm going to crack a beer open and just relax.
It's all well and good having the ideas and that, but it's the consistency, and like that's what keeps things going. You can't just do one good thing and then go, oh, I've done something out of the 2 weeks. It's sort of an everyday sort of thing. That's what me and Yaz have found as well.
And it's having the courage and not being frightened of failing, because there's so many things.
I mean, there's things that we've failed at, isn't there?
Oh my gosh, and things that we've made mistakes, and I think owning those mistakes, I think putting your hands up and saying, you know what, we
always say, you know, that's not worked, or we've made this decision, it's backfired on us, totally on us, but we know what to do different next time. Maybe the next time we'll do something wrong again, and you know, we'll need another chance, but you know, we do own the mistakes, and
and I think that's what's kept us kind of moving on to the next or the next or the next. Whenever we've made a mistake, it's been like, well, we can learn from it and move on. So.
You know what? There's always a next and next with us, isn't there?
There always is
a next and a next.
So that's right.
Absolutely. We've always got half a plan. The rest of them just wing it, you know.
Well, that's what keeps it authentic.
Absolutely.
Otherwise,
we have a base idea, then we're like, you know what? Well, let's just run with this and see where it goes. That's what we do. You know.
It's worked.
So.
It has worked.
But, you know, on the day, and I will never forget this, on the day where it was my last day at work, middle of September, and my office is in Nottingham, so I was driving to Nottingham. I was driving my lovely Mercedes that I had to hand back, so I haven't got a car.
Is it company car?
So I've got a company car. I've got a lovely salary, company car. I've got life insurance, pension, private health insurance, and all of that. I was going because I believe in what we're doing. So I was driving to Nottingham, and Andy rang me and he said, "You're not going to believe this, but the windows have been put through on our Newcastle shop." And I was like, "Oh my goodness!" You know, you're thinking, "What am I doing?" For that split second, I was like, "What am I doing? I'm giving up all of this stability and security for something the unknown."
The unknown,
really.
which we could finish you off at any minute. You know,
Yeah,
that's a scary thing. You know, one huge thing could be almost the end of everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
long story short, she's now driving around in a little Corsa.
I'm using Hanley car.
So
stay humble.
Absolutely.
For the first time ever, and I don't mind saying, I'm quite embarrassed actually to say this, but I'm going to say it. I was always somebody that liked having a nice car. I liked having a nice car, and I liked driving a nice car, and you know, that doesn't matter. I've realised, and at the grand old age of 44, that actually it doesn't matter about what car you drive, what
status
house
racing, does it?
you live, what job title you've got. What matters is what's in here, and
your happiness.
And it's taken me, 20 odd years of a career to get there.
But do you feel like because you've built yourself up that you can sort of let yourself feel these things? Whereas because if you were chasing to get the house and to get the car and make sure your kids were all right, when those things came up, you perhaps would have gone, "Oh, we can't do this because we've got other things that we need to do."
There's always a reason why you can't do something because your kids are young, or your kids are this, or it has helped that our kids are older.
So you've probably done it at the right moment, you know what I mean? Because you've got your house and you've got
the only thing that holds us back now, it's the dog.
We've got a dog.
It's our Jack. He's like number one in our house, isn't he? Like everybody, So now we're like, She's like, we need a dog walking now 4 or 5 times a week, or we've got to run back from Hanley, good half an hour drive back home to make sure Jack's okay and he's fed and watered, and he's watching the right things on telly and different things. He's not got an 18 movie on or anything like that. So
thank God for dog TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right though, we have actually done things in reverse, I guess, because we, when we got together we were really young, and I was pregnant with our eldest when I was 19, you were 18, weren't you? So we were really, really young. And, we struggled because
it was hard, wasn't it? It was only for the backing of really our families, wasn't it? We sort of
I was 21 when I had my kid as well, so it's just weird how life takes you there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It doesn't need to stop you, does it? It doesn't need to stop you.
No.
And maybe that was right. Maybe that was right at the time. It was like, oh my God, I was
terrifying.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a time I was working 2 jobs. Wasn't it?
That sounds familiar.
So I was working daytime job.
I was working as a kitchen porter. I was also finishing my degree, and then I had to do a year and a half of freelance before I could
and Mackie's actually.
And Mackie's.
And you did a bit of Toby Carver.
And Toby Carver, and the Rifleman. I've done all of them.
I was saying, I can remember, I was working just down there, Vicky Road in Fenton. One of them going to the pub working at night time, then going home because Olivia was always crying at night and trying to look after her so you could get an hour's sleep. And so it was like, how are we going to get through this?
I know, but we did.
We did. That's the main thing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I wish we'd just stopped the dogs.
That's so funny.
That'd be my advice to anybody. Don't have kids, have the dogs instead. Absolutely. Probably cost you about as much as having kids, to be fair.
What, the meat bills?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's spoiled rotten, isn't he?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And then organising trying to take them abroad is like,
oh wow.
Because we've got the camper van.
Oh, cool.
And my partner's done it 5 times. I've done it once with him last year. One of my dogs was from Cyprus, so he's got a passport.
Oh, nice.
So now it's like, well, we could get him for the other dogs in the car, because they all come like travelling when we go, like Wales or the lakes.
Nice.
Or,
Yeah.
from Scotland at the end of this week, actually, for
Yeah,
my
yeah.
birthday. And even the cat, he's like a dog. So he's there, he has his little tracker on and don't even bother with a lead.
No.
Really just walks with you. So,
see, our Jack, he doesn't like being on holiday, does he? We took him to Wales with us. He just likes being at home.
Territorial.
Yeah, he is at home. Yeah.
His streets.
Absolutely. He was just miserable, wasn't he? While on the settee, didn't want to move, didn't want to eat. Just wanted to be at home, basically, But he's happy, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I'm like, come on, Jack, you're on your holidays. Let's go to the beach. And he's sort of like more interested, Was he?
Yeah.
No.
Is that why he doesn't go up to Longton?
It is. Honestly, it is. Yeah.
It'd stress him out.
It would stress him out.
Yeah, it would.
Yes, he does get, again, it's probably we've pandered to him, he gets stressed so easily. Like, works himself up, doesn't he? He's panting and like pacing, and that's on us, probably. On you. Yeah, absolutely, you do it. No, absolutely. Bless. Oh.
So you worked in a brewery before. What did you work as before in Nottingham? Or?
So I was an associate director for a logistics business.
Wow.
I work in logistics, design.
I started, about 20 years ago. I worked for Business Post and CityLink. They don't exist now, but they were like courier companies, like what Every is and Hermes is. So I was a sales rep for those guys, and then I got a job working for Pallet Force in Burton-on-Trent, actually.
Pallet Force.
I worked for those guys, and then DHL. Then I was made redundant, and then I got the job working for Baxter Freight in Nottingham, and I was there for 7 years. And I was promoted to associate director a year. 2 years ago, so it was just when Keep It Local was starting, so that kind of felt a bit push, like
something you work for, isn't it?
I always
career then.
By the time I'm 40, I want to be sales director. That was always my goal. So when it happened, it was like I felt this. What am I going to do? Because this is what I've been working towards. But actually now we've got this other dream that's going on. So I did find that really difficult. That kind of what you think is your goal changes, doesn't it? As maybe as you get older and your life changes.
But don't you feel like the skills that you've got are transferable, though?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've got no retail experience, have we? Really?
Not really, no.
Because Andy was in hospitality and pub management, and then you worked for a brewery, didn't you? And I've always worked in logistics. So apart from having a Saturday job when we were like 16, 17.
What I'm saying is you never had to speak to real people, have you? Yeah, you've sort of done the sales type pitch.
I've never had to deal with pub. I've never done with customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've always done B2B, so I've always been working with other businesses, and but a lot of the structure of the business is a business, and the structure is the same. You need to sell goods to make money. You need to sell a service or goods to make your money back. So that actually is transferable. And naturally, I love people, so it doesn't matter who that person is. I want to understand them and get to know them, which really helps with working with the public and working with, obviously, our customer base is split into two. So we've got customers that walk in through the door, but then we've also got the small businesses that we sell their products on behalf of. They're also our customer. So both really the skills that I've learned.
Obviously, from the business side, dealing with the businesses we represent. Then the customer side, we don't do sales. We don't jump on people. So we want people to have a positive, nice experience when they come in. Like at Affleck's and different. Come in, relax. You're not going to get jumped on. By somebody trying to sell a candle or whatever. Just come in, enjoy yourself, have a good walk around, and take your time. But then obviously the business side that you deal with the other sort of customer base. Yeah. So it's nice because you know when people come in, the ones that want to talk, the ones that don't really want to be spoken to, and that's fine,
so busybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard for people to say, especially in the high street shops, when there's nobody in the shop. People don't really want to go in because they think I'm going to get jumped on, or they're going to start talking to me, and especially if I'm in, I just talk to everybody,
It's like if we had a shop.
I'm like, if you're going to come in, I'm going to speak to you, But no, it's nice, isn't it? Just having that with people.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah. And I think because Andy came from, he spent all of his life working in pubs behind a bar.
Yeah.
And so naturally, Andy's like, Andy's like a pub landlord.
Probably talk about anything,
you know.
I know a lot about nothing, basically. That's what she's trying to say, you know.
Great at pub quizzes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
When we're on holiday, sometimes I can hear him at the bar, and I'm in the room, or you know, it's by the pool bar, and I can hear him, and his voice is getting louder.
Especially when I've had it, you know, a lemonade or two.
Rubbish. I can hear him talking rubbish. But that's what you do.
Yeah. And before I know it, I'm like, everybody's like, "Boy, Andy," I was talking about the bar last night, or I've seen them, and I'm like, you know, I know everybody now in the complex. You know, I've all been there a day.
That's like us, and then a lot of the time we don't even ask for the names, so they're like, "What's the name?" Like,
you know what? Yeah. You know what? I am terrible with names. So in the shop this last few weeks, there's people walking through saying, "Hi, Andy." I'm like, I know who you are, but I don't know your name, you know. And that's
you think you know, and you don't want to say it,
absolutely.
Wrong. Sometimes
absolutely. And there's sort of more people sort of get to know who you are in the shops, or they've read an article online or wherever. They're like, you get spoken to, like, people know you, and I'm like, I'd love to know you, but I don't, you know, or do I? I don't know, you know. It's so difficult, isn't it? You know, it happened at the petrol station, didn't it, a few weeks back? I'm there putting fuel, and somebody shouts across, "Are you Andy and Laura?" I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure now. You know, it was like somebody, we did a bit of YouTubing a while back, and like, well, you haven't done a YouTube video in like 18 months. I'm like, we've just been a bit busy, you know, and we'd love to do one. With a few things going on, you know, but you need to do another YouTube video, because it's just, I'm like, it's just like, it was a pair of idiots. We're just walking around talking about nothing real, you know. Look at that pot bank there, you know, isn't that nice, you know, sort of thing. Got no knowledge, really, you know. But I think people like that as well. You know, you're just like being you, aren't you? You know.
Yeah. It's organic.
Absolutely. We're not spouting facts, or maybe I am, but they're probably wrong, because, you know, I'm just making them up as I go along, you know. But we like that, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it is a good side to the job, the social life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Love it.
And the people, the friends you make as well.
Oh God, yeah.
Honestly, I feel like in the last month, our circle is just like of people that you know, have asked us and come and seen us and just wanted to know more about us, and that makes me feel like
it is that circle we've built up. I mean, it used to be like, it would only be Laura that called me on my phone or messaged me, but now I'm like, there's constant messages or calls I've missed or taken, and you know, by the end of the week, sometimes like the throats are like raw because we've spoken to that many different people, which is great. But I'm just like, I don't know if I can speak anymore, you know, because I'm just like done.
Finally knowing your limits.
Absolutely. By Christmas Eve, when we close up for a short break, we're going to have nothing left, are we, in the voice box? No, it's going to be gone. Who is it?
We'll do what I do, and sometimes I'll pick you up for the podcast, and I can't eat, I trip over my words, or I'll just verbal diarrhea, but also I'm mispronouncing things, or I'm missing words out, and I'm like,
that's me all the time. All the time. My brain's just gone to mush, and that's it, you know.
It's all good fun.
It is, God, absolutely.
And so the department store you've got till Christmas Eve.
We are there until Christmas Eve at the moment.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely.
We never know.
We never know. Be able to stay, and we are in talks with the centre, aren't
we?
So,
we are.
Of course, like anything, it comes down to money, doesn't it? It comes down. You know, I think we spoke about this earlier as well. We know that the Pottery Centre need money to be able to pay their bills as well.
Of course,
so we're certainly not expecting a free
free ride. No.
But it's got to be whereby we can make some money and pay our bills as well. There's got to be that balance, hasn't there? So
Plus, you know, it works then as well. Because if it's all just charity, then you don't know if it's just a sympathy thing or if it's a genuine.
Absolutely. I said we've done countless shops there over the last sort of 18 months or so now, so we know generally what works and what doesn't. And we know some months are tougher than others, you know, or when the kids are off school, for example, has a knock-on effect. But we're definitely in conversation, you know. And at the end of the day, we're not doing this to make millions, you know. We're doing this to cover a small wage, to do the right thing by the local makers, by the city, by the local people. But we've got to have that support, haven't we?
Yeah, and I think we will. I mean, we've had a great start.
We have.
The first week was we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe. What did we sell? 3,200 items.
Individual items,
Oh my God!
It hit the ground.
Absolutely.
And we had people on the first Saturday coming in from. Somebody came from Derby. Somebody came from Nottingham. Somebody came from Watford. They'd seen various press releases and wanted to come and see what it was all about. Now, that's amazing.
That means
for
the world,
us,
doesn't it?
bringing people into our city.
Well, it shows that the reach is working as well.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
But, you know, those people that come from further afield, they'll come in, obviously they'll come and see us, then they might go to the local cafe and buy from somebody else there, and it's only maybe a cup of coffee, but, you know, again, it's just...
It's a knock-on effect, so...
And they'll go in and tell people,
absolutely.
and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Because I've been to Stoke, and people say, what have you been to Stoke for, you know, and they'll go, well, this is happening, you know, it's amazing, you know, sort of thing.
And that's what we wanted. That was why it was important that we branded it something that stood out. So Staffordshire's first creative department store, it needed that to try and bring people in. So the first week was great. The second week, I mean, it was still...
It's still good.
It was still good. It dropped off a little bit as expected. But then... we're on week 3 now, aren't we? And we had a bit of a peak at the weekend again.
We did,
so
which was great. Yeah. We had our friends from Castle Artisan. We had a small artisan market in store, and some potential we might do something like that again. But yeah, it did peak at the weekend, didn't it? Which was great. Really good. But you know what? We don't expect people to come buy every 2 minutes off us. But it's almost like there's a thing called like just a card or something like that. And if everybody come in just bought a card or a bookmark or a postcard for a couple of quid, it'd mean that a business like us could stay in a location like Hanley. We can pay your bills, we can pay the staff costs and different bits just by a very, very small investment. We don't expect people to come and spend hundreds of pounds every time they come. You know, just a small token does mean, like I say, we can cover everything.
And I think one of the most popular questions we get asked is, can I buy your products online? And we always say no. We've got a couple of our community, we've got a community of makers, and a couple of those guys sell online through our website, but we've never done that ourselves, and I don't think we ever will, because our mantra from the start was, we want to invest in our high streets and we want to get people back out shopping.
Like I say, we want people to come and shop with us, then go to the cafe for a cup of tea or a breakfast or whatever they want. You know, just support the high streets. Because people say, you know, nobody goes in the high street. Well, they don't. If you keep shopping online, or, you know, come out to your high street, see what's going on, see what the amazing things are doing in Longton, and, you know, they're trying to do in Hanley. Stoke Bid and Hanley are trying to do great things with the team there. You know, the high streets of Newcastle. You know, come and see them. Come see the amazing buildings, and, you know, you'll find some friendly people. Don't always believe what you read online. You're going to find some friendly people, aren't you?
I think people blame the council, for example, or car parking, or there's always a reason why not to come. Actually, if each of us just made that effort once a month or whatever, then that would make a huge impact, and then people like us would invest, and that's all it needs, isn't it?
Really is.
People like us that have got a passion or a belief to make that punt and then be supported, and then that's what happens. That's a knock-on effect. And so when people say, oh, it's too expensive to park, but you'll pay postage, you'll pay for Amazon Prime, or you'll pay, like, just come into your towns and support. Absolutely. Because that's why we're in the state we're in, isn't it? Because lockdown happened and then people stopped.
Isolation got too comfortable.
It did, and, you know, and habits change. We get that. But I say to people, prime example is, you can't smell a candle online, can you?
No.
A pair of earrings, you can't hold them up, or you just look at them on your laptop. You know, so come out and have a look. Like I say, small businesses like us, not just us. You know, any small business, they're not going to sell you the dream. They're not going to jump on you. They want your support. So, you know, they'll let you, you know, touch things, pick things up, smell things, give you some advice. You know, it's not always about the sales; it's about being supported by people coming to visit them, isn't it? You know,
And even we know money's tight. You know, we're in the same boat. We're family. You know, everybody's in the same boat. We know money's tight. But just by coming and maybe sharing on social media or taking a picture, we love that when people come in our shop and they take a picture of what they bought and then they tag the small businesses in, and that just means the world, doesn't it?
Really does.
Us and the small business.
And then even the stories of where things are going. You know, we've had items going to like Dubai.
Oh my gosh, Australia's been the biggest thing. You know, when you came to our
so
they a lot of those have gone. We've also had some Malcop ceramics in, and they're beautiful, aren't they? And some of them, 3 of them, I think one went to Dubai, one went to Miami, and one went to Australia.
You know, I always say when things go abroad, I'm like, for those that aren't lucky enough to live here in Stoke, you know, they can have a little bit at home, sent wherever they go to. You know, it's like we sell oatcake mix, don't we?
Staffordshire oatcake.
Oatcake mix.
Oatcake
they
mix.
can do their own.
They can make their own at home, so it goes all over the world, and we've got a huge range. I mean, we've got like a Mexican
We've got a Mexican
oatcake
one,
mix.
gluten-free, ice lift.
Yeah, an original mix.
So I've been stuck. So like I have to have gluten-free.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
I'll
go.
have to get the thing off you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. So it goes all over. So people can have the traditional oatcakes, wherever they are in the world. If they're not lucky enough to pop down to the oatcake shop, like most of us are, they can have their oatcakes, which is great, isn't it?
Really good.
So it's nice when people say this is going to be son who lives in, Dubai, for example. On Christmas morning he's going to have his oatcakes. I'm like, you're going to send you some bacon and cheese over as well, to get with it. That might be an issue. Well, yeah, it is lovely knowing, isn't it? Little bits of Stoke are going everywhere. It's like almost like when you go wherever in the world, you've gone on holiday, you look at turn your plate over, don't you, and go, where's this plate?
Where's this Wedgwood?
That is literally how you identify Stoke.
Absolutely. 100%. Plate turners. Yeah.
100%. But I remember a couple of years ago when you said about, if everyone spends a little, it helps a mile, really. I remember there was something called the £5 concept, and they did like a national shop local type week. And they said something like, if everyone spent a £5 in this week with a small business, it would create something like 7 million or 7 billion in the whole country's economy. And that's crazy when you think of it on a large scale.
Just a small amount,
I think the thing with shopping with a business like an independent business like ours is that we as consumers, Andy and I, we will shop local as well, because you're more
passionate.
And you understand the concept of where that money's going. So we will shop with a local butcher, we buy fruit and veg from a local fruit and veg.
Absolutely.
Everything in our shop, everything that's been sourced, the coffee machine, we use Options Management in Silverdale for the coffee machine. So we try that. We always use, we hire, we have to hire vans, obviously. We always use a Ford. Like, we always use a local business because of how, so the money that's coming into us,
the money we spend locally is, it keeps people in jobs locally.
We're re-injecting that into other local businesses, and local businesses are more likely to do that, aren't they?
Absolutely, absolutely. Be investing in their towns and cities.
Really important. That.
It is, isn't it? And so I suppose to sort of wrap it up, what advice have you got for anyone else who's thinking of starting something similar, or even if they're
starting their own venture or something,
who wants to get involved?
Well, if it's something similar, don't do it in Stoke. That's what
Don't take out
not on my patch. So, I think the best advice I can give is, go with those crazy ideas, see where it goes. Don't be afraid to take that leap.
Yeah, I think mine would be the same, actually. I think. Well, I am probably. If there's passion in your heart, then do it.
Don't do it for the money.
Do it for that passion. Do it for that fire. And there will be moments of doubt. There will be challenges. Things will go wrong. But I think you've just got to hold that dream. You've got to just focus on that dream and don't lose sight, because dreams do come true, don't they?
Yeah, clearly
they do. They do. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you.
On that note.
Yeah. Thank you ever so much for joining us, and thanks for watching, guys. What I'll do is I'll link all Keep It Local socials below, and don't forget, down here, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review on Spotify. Bye.